excited to talk to you a little bit today about different questions that we often hear, including about baby-led weaning, breastfeeding, safe sleep. What else?
Screen time.
Yeah, screen time. That's a hot topic. Basically, whatever it is that you're eating, eventually the goal is for your baby to be able to eat the same thing for meal times as well. If you were to give your baby a spoonful of something and they right away push it or tongue it out like that, it doesn't mean that they don't like it. It just means that they're likely not ready yet. I'm Kim Emmerich. I'm a nurse practitioner in pediatrics at Atracare and an IBCLC.
And I'm Christina Minisali. I'm another one of the nurse practitioners at Pediatrics at Atracare.
We're excited to talk to you a little bit today about different questions that we often hear, including about baby-led weaning, breastfeeding, safe sleep. What else?
Screen time.
Yeah, screen time. That's a hot topic. So why don't we talk a little bit about baby-led weaning? What are your feelings on it?
I always like to say it's whatever works best for the family. So we have baby-led weaning versus the traditional, which is introducing purees to babies. I like to do a little bit of both. That's what I did with my own daughter. I think that there's benefits to both of them, and I think it really is going to depend on the family structure and what works best for them.
That's awesome. That's pretty much what I do as well. And I think this is great since you're just coming aboard so that we can kind of talk things out and see where we're at with different ideas and concepts. And I'm very much of the same, where I like a hybrid approach, both purees, doing some baby-led weaning. Basically, whatever it is that you're eating, eventually the goal is for your baby to be able to eat the same thing for meal times as well. So the big thing though, and one of the questions I hear very often is, when do we start? And that really varies based on the baby's readiness. So there are 3 different things that we always need to look for before we make that official determination if it's time for the baby to start doing purees or solids. The first one is
head control. Are they able to hold up their heads on their own?
Exactly. And a lot of people will think that that means they need to be able to sit up independently and be in a nice straight line. And that's really not the case. As long as they're on your lap or in a secured high chair location and they're able to maintain that neutral location, that's what we're looking for. The next thing, and one of the very first things that I notice starts is what? What do you find?
Interest. Reaching for all your food, trying to put it into their mouth.
Exactly. So when they're watching you like a hawk with every single bite you take, you can check that off of your list. And the third thing that I often find will be sometimes the last thing to come, and what generally will push a lot of babies closer to really that 6-month mark rather than starting at 4 months, is a lack or decrease of the tongue protrusion reflex. Meaning, if you were to give your baby a spoonful of something and they right away push it or tongue it out like that, it doesn't mean that they don't like it. It just means that they're likely not ready yet. So you give it a few days or a week or so and you try again.
Yeah. Other things we like to talk about at this time, usually when we're meeting with you going over readiness for feeding, is the allergens. Parents always want to know about like peanut butter, eggs. How do I know if my child's allergic? What do I do? The old recommendation used to be to actually wait until almost a year, thinking that that was going to help prevent allergies, and we know that's no longer the case. We now recommend introducing early and often. So it might not be the first food that you introduce. You want to try a couple of other foods first, just to make sure in general they're a kid that's tolerating solids. And then I usually tell families to go ahead and start with peanut butter or eggs. You want to start that food by itself. A lot of times with peanut butter, because it can be a choking hazard, we want to thin it out, mix it with breast milk. I'm also a huge fan of the Bombas little peanut butter puffs. I think they're a great way to just get your kids to chomp on them, and giving it maybe, what were we saying, 2 to 3 times a week if you can.
Yeah, those repeated exposures are always good.
Keep giving it, making sure you're going to keep giving them that exposure little by little over time.
That's perfect. And also what I always say is the only thing that really is off limits is going to be honey until they're a year old because of that risk of botulism. But otherwise, it's game on. You can do all of your high allergen, you can do shellfish, you can do peanut butter and eggs, just as Christina had mentioned. You can do sesame, shellfish, I forget if I said that. So
you want to do them by themselves to start. So you want to introduce it and then give them a good 3 days in between, just to make sure they're not developing a rash, diarrhea, vomiting, anything like that. We would want to have you come in and assess, and we'd be looking for an allergy. And then, just keep exposing.
And it's unlikely that they would, with that very first exposure, start to show those symptoms. However, if there ever is a reaction, doing it one at a time like that allows us to be able to kind of pinpoint a little bit more easily where their sensitivity is. You had also mentioned, Christina, about different first foods. What is your general approach and what you like to do for what food first?
Sure. We like to do some high fat foods if we can to help with those brains developing. We were just discussing doing avocado is a great first food because you can do that baby-led by just handing them a slice of avocado that they can play around with, or you can mash it up, give it to them as a puree. And what was the other one we were saying? Salmon?
Yes, pureed salmon. So if that sounds something that
works for your family,
yeah, then you go for
puree it up.
Yes, absolutely. And I also often will recommend doing some oatmeal, baby oatmeal, not rice cereal, because really the nutritional content of rice cereal is pretty much nil. It's like us sitting down and having just a bowl of white rice. However, the oatmeal will allow them to have the iron content, which is really, really important for babies, especially when they're exclusively breastfed. And also I like in that you can mix it to whatever textural needs that your baby needs early on, because what they're doing at maybe 5.5 months isn't exactly the same as what they'll be doing when they're 9 months old.
Yeah. And then just again, avoiding any choking hazards in kids. If you're gonna do baby-led weaning, if you're gonna just give them grapes when they're age appropriate for that, make sure you're cutting them in half and just being mindful of that.
Yeah, and one of my favorite recommendations for different resources to check out is called Solid Starts. There's an app, there's a website. I think it's fantastic because it really breaks things down for when you have a 5 or 6 month old versus a 9 month old versus that 12 months and beyond.
Great. I think I covered everything food-wise.
Yeah. If you have any other questions, feeding related, baby-led weaning related, we would love to help. Come see us at Atracare.
We'll see you there.
All right, can we take a break?
How do we do, Bella?
Do you want to give just like a little?
I just want a sip.
Call to action. Like, do you have any more?
Yeah, okay. All right, you ready?
Yep.
If you have any other questions, feeding related, baby-led weaning related, we would love to help. Come see us at Atracare.
We'll see you there. Woo! Yes! Woo! Thank you for taking the lead on that.
Nailed it.
Man,
Better
that
than
was
Bill.
amazing.
That's what I